Join us for a tale of betrayal and secrets in a world without gods, metal, and mercy. Welcome to ASUNDER.
Hello. And we're back again. Thank you for joining us for session 2. Again, once before we go around the introductions again for my lovely group of players, I got our sponsors that we have to call out and talk about how awesome they are in a minute. Which, first and foremost, we have 10 Stars Games. We have Evil Hat Productions. We have Hell's Game, Grinding Coffee, Dice Dungeons, and Motheus, which I believe I might have mispronounced incorrectly last time. If I got it wrong again this time, apparently I'm just going to get a pronunciation guide because I grew up on Hooked on Phonics, and clearly it did not work for me. But for all you out there, I am Paul. I'm the keeper. I'm our storyteller, leading our band of adventurers and our protagonists because they're very gray, so I am reluctant to call them heroes. Through their lovely adventures this week. Yeah, I called you out right on it, Gigi. You're looking right in my face. You're shaking your head. But again, I believe we're going to be kicking off the party with Jess with her lovely introduction.
Hello, hi. My name is Jess. You can find me at go_JG most places online. My pronouns are she and they, and today I get to play Silphi, whose pronouns are she and her. She's, the little bug lady. Nothing too scary, except apparently everyone's scared of her because they don't like bug people. Rude. Whatever. Anyways, recently adopted Charlie, our bug bag friend, and very excited for the adventures we're going on today.
We got Darby. This is how clockwise works. I know we had to cover that last week.
My head is empty all the time. Hello, I am Darby. I use she, her pronouns, and so does my character. And I'm playing, and speaking of my character, I'm playing Rin, Sky Dancer. She's totally normal. She just dances, she doesn't, she doesn't do much. She's just she's just a bit of a heartbreaker, But so goes in showbiz. Yerp.
There we go. I believe we're moving on next to Gigi.
Hey, I am Gigi. I'm playing, I'm Gigi. Any pronouns at all of them. They're all useful. They're all good. They're all wrong. So it doesn't really matter which one you use. I play Shri, who is she, her pronouns. She is I thought she was the tiny one, but our amazing bug person is actually itsy bitsy in comparison to even her. So she is our light touch. She doesn't really have eyes, but she is full of love? ? Probably just chaos magic, and she will eventually blow up. So let's hope it's not this session.
Marlo.
I am Marlo. I am playing Dayra, she, her. Both of us, she, her. Dayra is the captain. She's also a Ravager, so instead of being full of love, she's full of demon blood. But the rest of the cast doesn't know that, so pretend like you never heard that, guys. And Dayra is just kind of an angry person who doesn't talk a whole lot, but she is the captain nonetheless, and likes to likes to hit things. So we're gonna go with that.
All right, and Spencer.
Hello, folks. I am Spencer at SpencerDVA on Twitter, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Amaranthus. They are a new Gaian plant-bonded inventor. Thought they were going to be a thing in combat last session, but obviously did not do much at all. But that's okay. They just like to invent things with plants, so it's going to be a fun time.
Have you hugged your tree man today? Tree person today? I sit corrected.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe it'll happen eventually.
So for a quick recap for those of us that were not here for the last session, and just get everybody back up on the same page, our lovely band of adventurers got together to have a drink in memory of people they lost about a year ago when a deal of a highly illegal substance went very bad. That highly illegal substance being glass. In the world of ASUNDER, glass is very dangerous. And this group of adventurers knows how to harvest it. They got together to have a drink and try to remember what happens. And in the building next door, somebody set off a glass explosion, which startled them all. They ran over there, found Charlie, the new mascot. Some people wanted to possibly pry him open to find out what's inside, and some people said no to that. While finding Charlie, they proceeded to run into a man who was there to probably take Charlie, that has some secrets that some members of the party may be more aware of than others. They negotiated his way out of the situation and seems to have left them alone. After that, they got back in the ferry again, which is, that's something they hadn't done in about a year and have taken it upstream until they ran into a now very, very, very dead group of brigands who thought that they could possibly get a toll out of them. It turns out toll equaled dead. And that's where we left our group, who rested for the evening and went back up on their way. So we will pick up there, unless people have some roleplay they'd like to kick off with. I can start with some descriptors. Yeah. Well, so you guys head down the tributaries and sailing back upriver. It takes about another day before you see anything of note, but you're making relatively good time. It lets you all rest and recover. For those of you who may have taken more damage from charge rejuvenation, for some of us that terrify everyone else. And you guys see off in the distance a small. It is looks like it's maybe part fishing village, it's kind of part on the river. Classic. This is somewhere we could set up shop and do something, and it would be very beneficial for that particular village to have water access as you do in these types of environments. As you approach, it seems to be relatively normal looking. Nothing seems amazingly out of place. There's not lots of overgrowth. There's no fires. It seems people going about their daily business. It is a place where you can stop and see if you want to get some supplies, figure out exactly where you are, kind of what's going on. Or you can just pass it by and keep moving up river. And that is up to you folks.
Do we have a map?
I don't know. I mean, you have a idea of where you're supposed to be headed, but I don't know if anybody actually looked to try and map this situation or navigate it out. You have a very good sailor who knows their way around right now.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah,
Why don't we stop at this? Why don't we stop at the village and see if they have something akin to navigation tools that can help us get to where we're going?
Don't need them, I have my own. And you see she pulls out this ramshackle, like, holy bag, and she kind of flops it down on the bench in front of her. And it's like, it's got, like, the compass and the little, isn't that called a compass too? That little thing, little protractor thing? And
that is also a compass.
Like, yeah, both types of compasses. She's got a map kind of rolled up in there, and it's less rolled, more crumpled.
How up to date do you think that map?
need it. I don't even need this. I got it all in my head.
Shri's just gonna grab the map and like uncrumple it and just like start turning it to the sides, trying to like she doesn't see a marker that says where we are, so she's just like looking for it, just like.
I think we're about
Looking
there.
Oh, go ahead.
Just points to a random spot on the map.
Yeah,
No, not even close.
We're just gonna move finger over to roughly the right spot. I think over here somewhere.
Closer.
Are you sure you're not
Warmer.
holding this upside down,
Warmer.
Shri?
No.
Dayra, is she holding this the right way?
What is the right way? The way I'm looking at it? The way she's looking at it? The way Rin's looking at it? Who knows?
I mean, you're the sailor.
It's all in my head. All right here.
All right. You guys are sailing by the village. People come out and wave a bit. They're very welcoming looking if you would like to stop and see what's going on there. If not, you can sail right on by.
Well, I guess we don't need to stop, so.
Well, what's there?
Bye.
Bye.
Well,
People?
I mean, does anybody want to stop?
I mean, we don't really need anything, do we? We have food, we have Charlie.
You have rations.
I went shopping.
So it's
Yeah.
food versus
I
rations.
went shopping.
Dayra like looks at it and is like starting to pass by it, sort of how you look at a yard sale to see if there's anything good. Like,
When you're like rubbernecking past that the yard sales. Oh, it's so good.
I mean, there's clearly like fresh fish from like the fishing, like from the fishers that are fishing from the local town. You can tell it probably has a bakery, so you can get bread. It's not a super like. It's probably got maybe a half a dozen common buildings and 24 homes. So it's not like a great place, but it's still relatively nice. You're also sailing into the Far East, which none of you have ever really been to recently. So it is a place to stop where you could ask what's going on.
I also have a
Why
question
not?
for Dayra, because when we came to this boat, wasn't the only thing on it like garbage? Like, is there food on this boat?
You know, she makes
No.
a point.
We should probably stop and get supplies, y'all.
You know, stopping and getting food doesn't seem like such a bad idea anymore.
I mean, I have rations, and she has like this really hard tack bread, and she like hits it on the side of the boat. See, perfectly
Doesn't
good.
break.
See, but that's one over there. That I know that's not lovely, but that one over there looks fresh and soft and edible.
Yeah, there's a little ding in the boat where she hit the pack rations on because the boat gave before the rations did.
You know what? I'm getting a little low in my bottle. Might as well stop.
Mm-hmm. So you guys pull up on the beachfront. It's easy to park your ferry there. It is sandy. It's like a sandy beachfront out in front where there's lots of people. It looks like they've gone back and forth from there. People are kind of like they're happy to see random travelers. They're welcoming. Many people are in like a bit shocked seeing Shri because they don't get a lot of people with no eyes. Not really a common thing here. But yeah, if you guys are looking to just hit the bakery and do rations, you're looking to try to gather information around town. Gonna go kick your way into the mayor's office and demand tribute. What do you want to do?
Don't give us ideas, Paul.
Not gonna lie, Gigi the player, very tempted by that last one. Shri the character, that
Yeah.
would never dawn on her, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Shri she'll want to go to the bakery because she absolutely, especially given that she is probably out of any and all illicit substances because she didn't get much from that group. Sugar's a nice replacement for a high when you can get, at least when there's sugar to get. So she's definitely going to want sweets, and then she's also just going to be like looking around to see if she can find any other light touched or hear any rumors regarding like where the light last hit or anything like that.
Sure. People will be a little bit in shock and awe of Shri, but they will talk about the light. You'll find out that the light hasn't been around here in years. Like, the oldest person in town remembers the last time they saw the light, but there hasn't been a lot of light in this area in a very, very long time. You will find out that there is a bright flashing light in the forest at night sometime. It basically flares up. It is not super close to the village, but when at its brightest, they can see it. It's off to the northeast of the town. Nobody in town has wanted to go investigate it yet. You are able to get some sweets from the bakery. Do you buy like all of their sweets, or do you have them custom make you some extra sweets? How much do you want to pay for your sweets? Our addict? You're not an addict.
No,
Stop
no. She can. No. She just doesn't want to stop. Like, she just has to want to, and then it's fine. Exactly. I think she will buy whatever like 5 sapphires will get her. Like, she will buy out this shop if that will buy out this shop. She does not care.
Yes, they will let you buy like 5 sapphires is way more than what this shop they see 5 like this is a small town. 5 sapphires is somebody's yearly wage.
Oh, so she'll just give them the 5 sapphires and buy everything and just like find a way to get it like in bags or packs or whatever, so she can just carry it back to everyone on the ship. So they will also have. So Rin will have the bread that she wants, and like Silphi doesn't have to worry about Charlie being a potential food source, and Dayra will hopefully eat something in between all her alcohol, but Shri doesn't really care. And Ame will probably just criticize it anyway, so like whatever.
No,
I think that's too many carbs in Dayra's alcohol, and too many carbs in Dayra's alcohol stream. Can't have that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I mean, Ame will eat sweets. They don't care.
Shri, do you need help carrying all of that?
Yes, please. Please, okay. Yes. This is heavy, and I don't want to squish the cakes. The cakes will get smushed, and then they will explode everywhere, and then they won't be as good.
Okay. Well, I think as a skimmer, I can actually carry quite a bit, right?
Yes.
Or
are we going to be having to like?
Oh no, yeah, because you get to add 5 to your carrying capacity, 5 to your strength for purposes of carrying, because you basically manipulate gravity around it. So they like kind of float near you, and you carry them that way, which looks really cool. Which, by the way, all the kids are like, "Oh my god!" Yes, you basically like floating cakes. They're like, "That's so cool."
I'm just like, haha, yes.
So Ame is the tallest and least grumpy looking of all of you, if I remember correctly. And as you're kind of wandering around town, after Shri just buys out the shop for 5 sapphires, probably about 20 or 30 minutes later, what appears to be like the town militia leader, who, and by militia leader, I mean a dude who's fit and has a sword. Not like I have armor that says I'm in charge of the militia. Asked Ame if they could make time, or whoever is in charge of the group can make time to talk to the city leader, like the town elder.
Oh. I assume. Let's see. I have at least Shri and Rin with me. You know what?
The town leader can't have my cakes.
Will you give some of your time to the town leader?
I don't care about time. I care about cakes.
Fair enough. I'll just turn to the militia leader and just be like, "Sure, what do they need?"
They wanted to talk to you about something going on. I don't want to discuss it in public.
Okay.
If they may ask us to do something for money, I'm absolutely on board.
I'm sure we can discuss that with their leader.
Should we get the others?
You know, we probably should.
We could also drop off some of these breads on the boat.
But you make them float so nice.
I can keep the cakes floating. They're very pretty.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, we're gonna head back to the boat to drop off stuff and get back to Silphi and Dayra, and then also like keep pretty cakes floating around Rin.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
When you get back to the boat, Silphi is like full on old lady cleaning, like scrubbing at the floor and like throwing out any garbage that you have lying around, Dayra. Like, you don't need this and you don't need this, and like just you're done with that. Do you even God, I lost the voice completely. Do you even have any cooking utensils? How are we going to cook on this boat? I mean, my old teeth can't
Silphi?
eat that hardtack.
Silphi?
Yeah.
Hi. I can kind of make those if we have to. Apparently, the town leader wants to speak with us.
Shri's gonna just jump up and grab one of the cakes because Rin is actually pretty tall, if I remember correctly. She's gonna jump up, grab one of the floating cakes, and just hand it to Silphi. You don't need to cook this.
Oh, you are such a treasure. And like has to look up at you because you're actually taller than her.
Shri just kind of looks at everyone else and looks very smug at this compliment. It's like she has fully absorbed this.
Alright.
I would like to posit that if you've been digging through all the trash, have you...
Yeah?
I'll pose this to the GM. Because a lot of those bottles were probably bottles of a certain type of substance they aren't maybe aware she's using.
I mean, sure, but they're going to be just bottle. They're just going to be bottle containers. It's not like there's residue around them. They're just empty bottles. So it looks like she might have some sort of drug habit and/or is drinking really, really nasty liquor at this point in time. Like just really hard gut rot.
Ooh.
Just
awful liquor.
Bootleg moonshine. Like
yeah, we're talking bathtub liquor on top of bathtub liquor.
Who am I to judge? She's alive. She's on the mission with us. She's not letting it get away with things we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to clean the boat because there's more people here now.
Mm-hmm.
So, also, how many, like, this is not a very big boat. Is this a lot of bread for this size of a boat?
No, I mean, you're fine. The boat holds about 8 to 10 people, like 8 people, and plus you have that smuggling compartment. It's the size, it's officially a large water carriage is what it is. So it's you know, it's good size. It's not like, oh, 2 or 3 people, you guys are falling off. It holds 8 people if you pack it to the brim.
Oh, cool.
So you it's like, we're not using the ship rules. It's not like a giant shark crustacean squid thing. You need a crew of 100. It's we modified the rules for a carriage and put it on the water.
Right. Easy. I was just wondering if we were gonna have to use them as like I don't know, cushions or something.
She bought out a day's, she bought out a day's worth of bread and sweets. She didn't buy. This isn't like a bakery. Like we're not talking like, you know, she went to the hostess company and bought. I will have all of your Twinkies.
Is that an option?
She would if there was.
Because Shri would do that. Yes, 100%.
No, unfortunately not.
It's that Ron Swanson moment of I will have all the bacon and eggs you have, but it's I will have all of the cakes that you have. I did not mean a lot of cakes. I meant all of the cakes that you have.
I think you heard that I only wanted a lot of cake, but really I wanted all of it.
Exactly that. But yeah, no, like currently no one has any way to identify that until you let that spill. So don't worry about your used bottle situation. I'm sure the chat on Twitch is very interested about what your used bottle situation involves. But, yeah, no. Does Ame share with the group the situation as it stands?
Yeah. It's like, so, apparently, the head of the town militia, who didn't really look like a militiaman, wanted the leader of this village to talk with us, or the leader wanted to talk to us, but I mean, if it's an opportunity for money, might need it where we're going.
Yeah, guess so. Let's go. Why not?
Yeah.
It's not like we're in a rush, right? It's a rough time estimate. We don't have to dash there.
Where are we going again?
I don't believe there was a time on the
I don't think so
out of
either.
character. Was there a time on the paper? I
No
don't think there
location.
was. It's not in my notes.
So we'll
Nope.
just go whenever we feel like it.
It was not on the part of the note. There was no sign on the part of the note that was legible. Correct.
Yeah.
Good. I need to
It's
see if
just
they have
drop
any
off in the
liquor.
Far East. Sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's a town listed in the Far East that's a drop-off. The name of the town is, as I check my notes, is the storyteller real quick. New Rockford, because, I'm really great at naming. But, yes, New Rockford was the name of that particular town. And considering you're about to be talking to this particular town's elder, he might be able to tell you how far away that is as well. But yeah, so you go to the elders. Basically, the city militia will meet you back in town. They'll take you to the city elders' cabin. Looks like it's probably one of the oldest buildings in town. Inside is an older man, probably his older spouse. That's the female, and what appears to be a maybe early 20s guy who looks real scared. If you're anything familiar with somebody who would probably be like a scout or a runner that you would use to spot threats outside of a village, that's probably what this guy is. The town elder will stand up and introduce himself as Strev, and he will thank you for seeing him. He sits back down. He's clearly rather old. He's probably got maybe 20, 22 years on our own lovely old lady here. His adventuring days are very done. And he starts off by going, we're very fortunate to have you in our town. We do not wish to be a burden, but I'm sure if you've talked to some of the townsfolk, you've heard the rumors of the flashing lights at night.
We've been hearing them a bit.
Our lovely scout here went out to investigate them with two of his compatriots 2 nights ago. He is the only one to make it back. The story he tells is of Naga in the area. It seems that they have found some sort of device, and the flashes of light come from it or around it. They are close to the village, but they are not attacking it. We would be pressed if we could get some help from you. That would be wonderful. But unfortunately, given how much you paid to simply buy bread, we're not sure exactly what we can offer.
Maybe just some information.
More bread.
Bread and information.
We can definitely offer more bread and information. We can do those things. What information would you like to know?
We are heading for a town called New Rockford, and we're wondering if you can tell us any, happenings or anything you know about the place. We've never been. It's new territory.
Oh, yes. New Rockford is to the northern area of our Far East Kingdom, and there's been lots of rumblings that the citizens are very upset there, that there seems to be an issue with taxation and over-taxation, and rumors abound that they might be hiring Bone Guard mercenaries or that something is afoot in the area, but we really don't want to get involved in that particular business. Our town is much too small. New Rockford tends to have a lot of trade, and it seems that they may or may not have talked with some individuals of, they look at Ame of the New Gaian persuasion, just based upon what we hear rumors about in that area. But it's a few days travel by, 4 or 5 days travel by foot, but you can cut off a few days, you can cut off about 2 days by heading further up the tributary until it dead ends. And then you can probably get there on 3 days by foot. He basically takes out an old map that has some trading roads on it, and is like, if you can look into this matter with the Naga for us, you can have all the bread we can bake and easily get a copy of this map for you, if that is what you wish. But that would be wonderful.
It seems amenable. Maybe also some other small supplies, but yes. Yes,
we do not wish, we don't have the type of funds that you all seem to be throwing around so easily, and we would not pretend to try to rob such an illustrious group of individuals, so we appreciate the kindness for trade in the matter. I can have Sterling show you at least close to where his compatriots were attacked. I don't think he wants to go that far back. This dude looks terrified. Like, he looks like he has probably not slept in like 2 days, and when he does sleep, it is nightmarish.
Were you attacked by the Naga or something else?
Oh no, the Naga. They're so big, so fast, and so big. Like, it was so big. Like, not cool at all. Like,
do you know how many there were?
I only saw 2 or 3, but there might be more. After they jumped us, I ran as fast as I could. I was lucky to get out alive.
Understandable.
All things are small compared to the light.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong, lady with no eyes. Okay, you have no. Does everybody else see that she doesn't have eyes, or is that just me?
Yep, we're used to it.
Okay, just making sure I'm not.
Are we used to it?
Ame is.
Fine.
They're just speaking on behalf of the group.
It doesn't seem to hurt her, so, you know.
Just making sure
I
I'm
can
not
still
losing.
see.
Just making sure I'm not losing my mind. Yeah, I can show you it's about. Yeah, the flashes don't. I mean, the flashes might be happening during the day, but you can't really see them. You can definitely see the flashes at night. When do you want to go?
Probably sooner rather than later. We could probably scout around in the day. And then
Okay.
wait till night.
All right. So, you guys want to prepare or anything before you head out, or do you want to just head out?
Can we get Shri a veil? Or something. I feel like
I don't
nighttime.
I don't think her eyes actually give off light to other people. I need to double check. I don't think they do, as far as like in the game goes.
Like, I'm checking now if I count as a light source, as per the.
Yeah, I am. Yes, this is what I'm doing now, is checking if I am a light source.
Yeah, totally do that. But while she's checking to see if she's a light source, is there anybody else who would like to do any other sort of prepping? You guys are like, we're ready to ride. Let's go.
I think
So,
Amish is
Naga
sort of
have
ready
never
to
been an
ride.
issue here before?
The Naga, the town elders, like the Naga have never traveled this far west before. We're so close to the center of the mainland that they don't tend to travel that far from the swamps, and this was a real surprise. But no, we've never. I mean, I've seen them from long ago, but most of the villagers are unaware of the threat the Naga could pose, and they have not traveled this far out. At least not as far as I remember. All the Naga I have seen were much closer to the swamps.
And are there any other things we should worry about from the forest?
I mean, there's the occasional predator, but most of those are kept away by the town folk. At this point in time, we haven't had any even maulings or attacks recently due to good trapping and things of that nature. And our location close to the water and the fishing tend to keep things from becoming any sort of issue. So no, this has mostly been a peaceful town for at least 2 generations now.
Are there any legends of things out in your forest? Anything that might, I don't know, be a point of interest for Naga, perhaps? Or just anyone who's curious and wants to fiddle with things that should be left alone?
I mean, there were some ruins around the area the Naga are in, but I don't know what they'd want to do there with them. Most of them were large mounds with little bits and pieces of things sticking out, but there wasn't anything of any real importance there.
What were the ruins of?
We never really looked into them that deeply. They didn't seem to be important. Looks like maybe somebody had built a small town there beforehand that it had been knocked over at some point in time, but that was years and years ago. Long before my time, even. But it looked like maybe
side note. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, go
ahead. Although there is an ability that I can take that I do give off light, Shri's eyes do not actually give off light. So they are not a light source for everybody else.
Good.
Yes, we are okay.
Moving and grooving.
Shri will, when they leave, Shri will do something, which she's not going to do right now. Sorry.
Okay. But no, it looked like there had been some sort of mudslide, and maybe there was a town there for a while. But that's about it. It didn't seem to be of any real importance.
Well, hopefully there's nothing in that place that they dug up. I don't know what to do with that. But, great. Cool. I've got nothing else to ask. Anyone else?
The object that they're playing with, is it made of plants? The thing that's giving off the light. What is it? What is it made of?
I didn't. Sterling was like, I didn't get that close. Once we ran into the Naga, I ran.
It doesn't sound like your scouting party was very good.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, we were scouting to see what was going on. We weren't prepared to run into Naga. That's really not a thing.
That was your first mistake. Should always be prepared to meet up with a Naga. Period.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Well, live and learn, I guess. Pat, pat.
Sure. He nods.
I'm ready to leave whenever.
Alrighty. Alright. Anything else you guys want to talk to the village elder about, or anybody before you head out?
Yeah. Nah.
Sounds good. Alrighty. All right, so you guys gear up, head out. Sterling will lead you there. He clearly isn't a bad scout. Like, he knows the area. He's a little bit stealthy. He basically shows you what the snare traps look like, so you don't accidentally get caught up in one. But he is very clearly very scared, but slightly more confident now that he's with you, and what's going on there.
How dense are the trees?
Around everybody from Ame, it's very much a light forestation. It's similar if you were like in, like, it's not thick jungle. It's way more of like forest, Midwest forest environment more than it's dense jungle environment. It's not so bad that it's hindering anybody, and clearly Ame just kind of steps through it. For anybody who hasn't been in Ame with the forest, I will let Spencer describe what happens as he's walking through the woods. As they're walking through the woods, I apologize.
No, you're okay. They're sort of not exactly inhibited, and as they're sort of walking through, they seem to be talking to some of the plant life in the forest. And it seems like almost as the plants sort of part to make a path for them. Oh yeah. I guess because I can sense this, and especially since there's a lot of plant life around. Are these plants that I can sense in pain at all?
Not in the area you are in. They seem to be just fine right now. I will let you know if when that changes.
Cool. And as they're looking around, you said the individual who's sort of leading us through was named Sterling, correct?
Yeah, Sterling.
I'll just look over at Sterling. How long have you been a scout?
For the village, about a year and a half or so. I think, yeah, about a year and a half, yeah.
Could you tell me which of the plants in this forest you are and aren't able to eat?
Oh yeah, he can point out to you what can and can't be eaten really easily. He's like, this one's a good ointment. This one, this can be eaten raw, but don't cook it because then it makes it poisonous. And he can go over several of like the survival plants you could use in this area to survive for, arguably weeks at a time if you really needed to.
And they're just like, good. That was a test, by the way. And they're going to start picking some of the plants that can and can't be eaten from around them, and sort of just put it into a little side pouch that they have.
He looks a little flustered at the idea that it was a test. He's like, okay. Okay. His nervousness slightly starting to return again. All right. So it takes you from...
I didn't mean...
Go ahead, Darby.
Could Rin be... Is it light enough that Rin could be jumping from tree to tree and still see where everyone's going?
Yeah. You could be up in the trees and see where everybody's going.
Shri is gonna spawn her chaos, her little chaos dagger. So I'm just gonna roll real quick for my Discord. That lasts for the day.
Sure.
Okay, I'm good. I rolled over it, so I don't need to do chaos mutations.
Super fun. You're like, I'm gonna summon my weapon for the day. Good call.
Actually,
so
I'm going to do the same as we're walking through real quick with my shape plant ability.
Weapons for the day.
Yeah.
You can do all that sort of prep work.
Yeah.
You're just ready to throw the fuck down.
Yeah. You sort of watch as maybe some of the plants actually start to sort of crawl up Ame's leg and then onto their arm, and then sort of forms a sturdier looking whip than what they would normally use. Because shaped plant gives you better weapons than normal whip. So that's a plant melee weapon that deals a d6 plus 2 damage whenever we go into combat.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
Is that new?
Right.
Did you do that before? I can't remember.
I've used it before. It was just for armor instead of a weapon.
Ah!
That's
see
cool.
We both took up weapons in our years.
So you guys travel for about 40 to 45 minutes until you come to what looks like a little bit of a clearing. And on the edge of the clearing, there appears to be a statue. Like,
What does it
Is it
look
a
like?
statue, or is it a person who got turned into a statue?
well, I think that's what we're about to discover.
I was gonna say that's a very audible question mark.
Yeah, Rin's gonna answer that question from the tree, away from whatever did that.
So it looks like it is a person. Sterling approaches it and then completely panics. Like literally goes and hides behind Ame because Ame is the tallest person in the group and Rin's in the trees. And is like, I don't know what did that, but that was Vin. He was one of the scouts, and he is very much a statue now. He's very much made of stone. That is very much not good. I don't like that. That is very, very, very bad. Not fun. Not a fan.
Know anything about Naga? Is this like a thing Naga can normally do? Is this like a thing, or like?
I don't know. What skills do you have that may let you roll on that particular lore type situation? This is when we choose profession.
Yes.
I have mythology.
Sure, that would very much apply. You can totally roll that profession with a d20 with a boon for that, for Schurzels.
That is is there a stat to attach to it, or is it just a flat d20 with a boon?
It's a d20 with a boon. The usual default for normal challenge would be 10, but you're looking for specifically a thing about a Naga, so I'm going to go ahead and set the challenge at 15.
Yeah, I missed it. It's a 14.
Okay. Anybody else? You can
Performance?
roll it without mythology and hope for a high roll.
Wait.
Oh.
When I summon my Chaos Spike, I go into Euphoria and I get an extra boon. Let me see if my other boon rolls higher than a 2. Ah, it did! Yes, okay, that's a 17.
Okay. So Naga come in varieties of shapes and sizes and are known to have many possible mutations. It is not outside the question of things that this could be a mutation that one of the Naga you are going to be encountering possesses, is the ability to possibly turn someone to stone in some way. Now, what that way may be, who knows? It could be anything from a bite to a gaze attack to a weird weapon they're carrying, but they could have the potential. It clearly is something Naga have done, but it is not common.
I've read a story about this once. There are Naga that can do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not normal, but they can do it. They can do lots of things.
Can I make a perception check?
Sure.
Just to where we are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this. That would be a flat 18.
Sure. Well, what you get with your perception check? Are you looking at? You just looking around? Are you looking at the statue? Are you looking at other places? Where exactly are you wanting to look?
I am looking for anything and listening for anything moving, or that is not us in this like area, like from the tree. See if anything is like being disturbed in the direction that the statue kind of is.
Right now, right now, you will perceive there are some pretty normal forest noises going on. There don't seem to be anything super crazy. You can kind of hear a little bit of a dinging off in the distance. But it's clearly not enough to disturb the animals to the point where it's not loud enough to disturb the animals or anything where they're flying away or causing a ruckus. So whatever's making the dinging noise is clearly not threatening to the animals at this juncture. So there's that. You will also notice that the direction the statue came from is a clear path. Like, it is somebody who was like not in the best of shape while they were running away. You can kind of find a blood trail. You can kind of find, like a drag, like almost like they were dragging themselves as best they could, and they got kind of up to the point where they picked themselves up off near a tree nearby, started to stumble forward, and then now they're in the state they're in.
Charming.
Mm-hmm.
Any bite marks on this person?
If you want to go down and inspect it, you can.
Nope. I stay in the tree.
I mean, Ame will. I'm not sure if Sterling's going to stick to them, but
Nope. Once you get close to his friend again, Sterling will try to find readings up in the tree. Probably Dear Captain, he will try to hang out with, because Captain is the scariest looking individual at this point in time. Like, in theory, Ame is scary because Ame's tall and, armored up now, but like, apparently I'm going to hang out near this very tiny, angry looking lady. She might be able to protect me. That might work. Mm-hmm.
She takes a drink out of a flask and looks at him. I can't protect you from a stone-turning monster. You know that, right?
Can you give me something to drink then?
Of course. She hands him the flask.
He drinks like half of it. Like, he just straight is like, you can't protect me, it's time for liquid courage. Like, that is his response.
When she takes it back, she kind of jiggles it like, how much did he drink? You owe me a drink when we get back into town. Puts it away.
That's fine. He's like, that's fine. And he seems to bolster up with the liquid courage, like, all right, got this. And yeah. So Ame goes to inspect the statue.
yeah.
Correct? So you can very much tell once you inspect it for a little while, that it is somebody who was attacked. It looks like they've been slashed. It looks like they've been bitten. They look in pretty bad, like it looks like somebody who was taken to the ringer and is in pretty bad shape and was attacked a bunch of times and was just trying to crawl their way away based upon the everything else that's going on with it, until they kind of pulled themselves up and died. And when they died, it looks like that's their last look of everything. Is that last moment. They've been turned to stone.
I'm sorry that this happened to you. And they're going to sort of look at the trail of sort of like what I assume is dried blood. It sort of trails behind the statue.
Yep.
And won't stray too far from the group, but we'll go and start investigating it.
Okay. You go maybe 25 feet into the tree line, and you'll see what is very clearly like what would be if like a large snake passed through an area. Like, that's the type of trailing you find in the grass and in the tree and in the brush, is if like a large snake passed through that area. By large, we're talking like Anaconda from the movie Big. Not like, it's a boa, like,
Well, the Snaga didn't know how to cover its tracks. Does it look like it goes
Maybe
off a
it
certain
didn't.
direction?
It's hard to tell because it looks like it basically moved around a bunch and then headed possibly back in a direction. But you could try to follow its trail back, or you could keep letting Sterling lead you to where they got attacked. Either one is fine.
I feel like this might be a better lead than him taking us there.
Sure.
Well, I guess I'll inform myself. I'll look over to Sterling. Was he still alive whenever you left?
I mean, we got separated and we went different directions, but last time I saw him, yeah, he was alive.
Okay. Then our best bet might be trying to discern where this thing might have gone after it attacked your friend.
Oh, okay.
Can I look at this, or rather, can I use medicine or something to figure out if there's a way to undo this type of thing?
It seems they are very dead.
Oh, okay.
It is
okay.
It is someone who has been turned in, like you as someone who's familiar with chaos mutations. It would be like if somebody chaos mutated a part of their body to stone, except instead of a part of the body, it's the whole body. So that person has ceased life functionality. It, for all intents and purposes, is a corpse. It's just a corpse made out of stone.
Do stone corpses still have souls?
Let's read how your power works.
Asking the important questions.
I believe the answer to that question is about to be.
Is the slurp
yes.
counter about to go up?
I'm checking exactly how your power reads as we speak, and I will let you know.
No, I don't think it'll work actually, because it has. It says harvest essence. You can use an action to get from a human that has died in the last few minutes. So I don't think this was that recent.
No.
Okay.
It is not. This has been several days. So.
Okay.
Sad. The slurp counter stays at 1.
No.
Sorry, everyone.
Until the end of the night. So, yeah. All right. So, anything else anybody wants to do? We're going to keep heading on. We're going to try to track this Naga, or are we looking to have Sterling take you deeper into the forest, to where they got attacked?
I mean, are they different directions?
They're in the same general direction. The Naga's path is not the way he would be taking you. Like, if the Naga clearly went back a different way than the direction they got jumped in, so it looks like maybe the Naga went back a different way, or the attack from that Naga came from a different direction is a possibility as well.
Let's not follow directly behind the Naga. Maybe this is the path it patrols?
That is a possibility.
All right,
So
but counter offer. If we go to where they were attacked, then that is a location that they are comfortable attacking by surprise. But if we follow to where they went, perhaps we are the one with the surprise.
You make a fair point.
But it might be back to their den.
But they won't be expecting us at their den.
But they'd all be
We
there.
don't.
But we would know where they were and we could surprise them.
We'd probably see
Perhaps we
them
could go and
before
just
they saw
observe.
us. Yes.
Yes, what Rin said.
As a side note, we got our
them.
20 retweets. We got our 20 retweets for a boon for everybody, just so they're aware.
Huzzah.
All right. So we're going to choose to try to track this Naga back down. Does anyone have a particularly good tracking profession that would apply in tracking down
Me.
Oh, look at that. Yes, is very happy. Like, yes, I would like to roll this.
I think like a lot of my proficiencies are about being like in force and stuff like that. I have Gatherer, Apothecary, but also Guide.
Guide in this case will let you direct the group through the woods as you track the Naga to not draw a bunch of attention to yourself instead of stomping through. So go ahead and give me that roll. If you would like to use your extra boon, you can do it with 2 boons, but it's up to you how many boons you're trying to employ. Just let me know when you use your boon.
I'll just use 1 for now. I don't want to take up the group boon just yet. Yeah. Okay, come on. Oh! That's very good. Well, that's less good. Okay, well, I only got a +1 on my boon, but I rolled a 19. So,
Sweet.
20.
Yeah, 20. Sterling is very impressed by your ability, especially given you're a tiny bug lady, to direct everyone to how to, like, stay out of this area, don't step on that, move around this thing. Like, it is very clear that your wise compatriot here knows her way around the woods and is keeping you all from, just knocking over things and knocking stuff down. Do you advise Rin to remove herself from the trees, or do you let her try to keep popping around in the trees?
If she's comfortable up there, I don't want to.
As a guide, you would know that eventually if she runs into birds, they're going to really be startled with a person up in the tree, and it's definitely going to give away where you're at.
Yeah. All right, Rin, I won't tell you what to do. You're your own person, but I will suggest that you come down with the group. It is just my little suggestion that we all stick together.
I'm not one to disagree. And Rin will just gracefully just jump out of the tree and just sort of, there's probably still a couple cakes floating around. Just drift down and then land on.
Shri will grab one of those cakes and start like nibbling on cake as they walk.
Ame grabs one too. Sort of looks at it.
Yep. Yep. So after about maybe 10-15 minutes of tracking this particular Naga situation, you get closer to the dinging sound that Rin heard in the upper part of the trees here. Now you can all kind of hear it. It's a very dull dinging noise. It sounds like probably somebody maybe doing some sort of weird digging, but it's really hard to tell. You can all see when you kind of come around the bend, because your lovely bug guide has kept you all low, and you see what appears to be, like, as players, you're all familiar with the concept of an archaeological dig, where people are kind of digging things out. You are seeing something very similar to that. There is what appear to be a piece of a large machine, not made out of metal, but it's a very large machine that looks like it's being dug out by a bunch of much smaller Naga. And they're kind of heading in and out of a tunnel situation. And next to that tunnel is an incredibly large Naga. Like, clearly not the tracks of the one that you've been following. On a scale of the size of the game, you guys are all size 1 creatures. This thing is a size 3 creature, so it's the equivalent of looking at something that's huge in the scale, in the D&D scale. If you guys are medium, you skipped large and got immediately to huge. So it is a very, very big creature that is a Naga that is kind of posted up as the guard that's kind of watching the much smaller excavating Naga kind of go in and out of this little tunnel works. And they seem to be either pulling some dirt out, moving some dirt in, but they're clearly excavating something. You can't seem to see the second other Naga you know is patrolling, because the ones you're seeing excavating are smaller than the one you saw with the earlier tracks. but because of the way your guide brought you in, you're kind of downwind from the Naga, and you can kind of see up and over like a little cresting hill area where you're at. So you can expect that if the other one is patrolling, it might catch you on a patrol route if you're not careful, because you already brought up the fact that it might be patrolling. But there's at least one really big one standing guard over the much smaller archaeologist or excavating Naga at this point in time.
So, it looks like there's maybe a small tribe of Nagas here.
Do we want to
Wonderful.
watch their behavior for a while? Maybe from a little further away? So as not to get caught in a path of someone looking around and finding us?
Probably the smartest idea.
We should be careful of the other Naga, but I'm very curious why they said there were never any Naga here before, and suddenly there's so many. They seem to be very taken with this site. Why would that be?
They're looking for something.
What's the thing they're digging? Sorry.
No, just was curious about where the nearest swamp might be.
The nearest swamp is in other parts, like much further towards where you guys are going. It's probably a couple of days' journey from here. So they are a bit out of where their normal areas would be in this particular area.
Okay.
So as you're hearing the digging and the clanking, there is a flash of light, and that flash of light synchronizes with Suri's eyes also flashing in the same interval.
Shri?
Yep. Shri looks like very on edge, like she's ready to just like run towards it. Because the sync with her eyes is very much like this has something to do with the light, and that is the only thing that matters right now.
I can kind of tell what you're thinking, and I wouldn't.
Yeah, but you don't do anything fun.
Yes, but running into a cave of Nagas by yourself...
I'm not by myself, I have all of you.
We're not just going to rush headlong into a den of these things.
She just kind of like turns her head away from you since you can't watch her eyes move. She's learned that this is what she has to do, and just like leans into Silphi. She's like, fine, like you're ruining my fun, so I'm going to cool Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Did the flash
As a side note for DG, this totally feeds in your fatal flaw. If you would like to escalate the situation to get more secret points, you're totally able to do that in this scenario. Just letting you know.
Yeah, she would totally escalate. Shri's not someone that would ever turn away from the escalation, like ever.
Mm-hmm.
This is why she's gonna explode someday, everyone. This is why she's gonna explode. Learn everything you can within the next 2 episodes. I don't give it very long. How does escalation work for the viewers at home and also for me?
Mm-hmm. No, not a problem. So escalation works when you feed into your fatal flaw, and it puts you in a much more compromising situation. Either A, you could do something like charging in there anyway, or you could start getting loud and arguing. It'll start bringing attention to yourself, and every player has a chance to feed into the escalation if they think it feeds their fatal flaw. Once the scene is over, anybody who participated in said thing gets a additional secret point. Some people get bonus fatal flaws when they do stuff, so I'm going to call Marlo out a little bit on this one. If you guys were to charge in and Marlo's character were to attack everything in sight, she would also get an additional secret point due to an extra fatal flaw she may or may not have when she's angry, because everything is prey. So, but you have lots of options on how you would like to escalate that. It can be simple as like arguing with Ame louder to possibly draw attention to yourselves, or it could be as simple as, well, I'm going anyway. But it is very much a situation of, yeah, this clearly deals with the light and things I want to do, and I'm going to do it, and screw you, baby.
I need to know why how the Naga don't touch the light. Don't touch it. Why do they have it? Why is it here and it's not here? You don't see it. I don't see it. It's not here.
Listen, I understand this is what you've been pursuing, but we don't know how many there are. We just don't.
She is going to immediately look between Rin and Dayra and just like, if they've created light, they're making glass.
Then let's be careful about how we proceed, because you remember yellow glass explodes, and if they're making a bunch of yellow glass, we'll all die. So perhaps we will go in, just maybe not right this very second. Let's just take a few extra minutes at least.
Did you say glass? She's like dollar signs in her eyes.
Shri just smiles and was like, I knew I would get one of them. I knew I would get one, and she just
my contact said this stuff is selling hand over fist. We could get a lot of money very fast.
If they want yellow glass, but we don't know
if
what they're making.
If they're synthesizing light, who knows what they're making? It could be new. It could be different glass.
The guy,
that's not the light. It works with a light, but it's not the light.
It might not be yellow, but it's still selling like crazy. This stuff is going like nuts. The market's up, up, up. We gotta go. We gotta go get this thing.
I can stop the big one. I can stop the big one. I can freeze him completely. I can just make him stop. He won't be able to do anything.
As soon as Shri's saying this, I'm taking a point of strain because I'm using my shape plant again.
Okay.
And they're just going to start making this sort of like vine armor to give them more defense, because they've realized that there's probably going to be combat.
Yeah.
Which, Paul, for the viewers and also me, what does strain do?
So strain is compared against your willpower, your will score. Once you reach that amount in will, you get what's called an essence break, which if those who played Exalted, it's very similar to like, break in that game or any game that has a giant stress break. It's part mental breakdown, part overflow of power. I feel like we're about to go over this hill and Leroy Jenkins some Naga from the sound of things. It sounds like what's about to happen here.
Maybe. Let's see.
So
let's see what Dayra and Shri do.
What is the range on these enemies? Like, who is where? Just for
everything is basically within long range right now. You guys are kind of over the hill. You're observing them. You're in the long range sphere of what's going to happen. It is 8:25. So if you guys want to declare we're about to Leroy Jenkins over a hill, we can leave everybody with a cliffhanger until we come back from our 10-minute break.
I think Dayra and Shri might do it even if everybody else isn't for it. So
yeah, I think Dayra grabs Shri's hand and looks her in the eye and says, "Let's go get the light."
Yep. And I think that is the best place to pause for our 10-minute break so that we can all get prepared for the chaos that is about to ensue.
Join us for a tale of betrayal and secrets in a world without gods, metal, and mercy. Welcome to ASUNDER.
By the hand and charging down the hill. And in the chaos of this, what is everyone else looking to do?
Shit. I'm gonna activate enhanced shape plant on the plant whip I made. It gives me more stuff. It lets me get a boon with my weapon, and it also deals 1d6 extra damage. So
Well, there you go.
I can hit things and do it well now.
Fair enough. And what do we have, Jess? What do we have our lovely bug grandmama looking to do?
I think that Silphi would start by just scouting, like as in like would do like a check to see if there's anything she can surmise about the situation. Like her friends are just charging it. She's accepted that. She understands. That's cool. But like I still want to take note of the situation, and I'm trying to analyze to see you know, if it is indeed just one person down there, if there's more coming in. Like I want to do like a big scout check kind of thing.
You want to assess the tactical situation.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Yeah. So what you see really right now is that the very large one is armed. The other ones all seem to have kind of digging equipment. They don't seem to be carrying weapons. They very much seem to be going about the process of excavation. And that seems to be their number one priority. Clearly that might change once the screaming and yelling over when they charge over the ridge happens. But right now it looks like the big threat out in front of you is the very large Naga guarding the entrance. Outside of that, the other ones don't appear to be nearly as much of a threat. And you're really unsure about what's going to happen because they aren't even that big at the end of the day. They don't even look, they're not even that big in comparison to the other ones.
Like they're more friendly nope rope shaped?
They're U-size as opposed to the average Naga being twice as long as the normal person.
So like medium danger noodle.
Medium danger noodle, yes. Much closer to a medium danger noodle. That is the best descriptor. So they're long, they're still longer than a person, but they clearly are not hitting the yard and hitting the weights, as opposed to this giant Naga that towers over everything and kind of can scan the horizon, looking like a lighthouse in the dark almost on this situation.
Are you saying these snakes skipped leg day?
Yes, the excavation snakes very much skipped leg day. I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, but also I'm not. And is there any sign of like, because we saw kind of like the path and we know that some struck out and attacked the scouts from this town, does it seem like there's any up on the cliff like coming around?
There could be.
Is that possible? Okay.
You don't see them, but it's very likely that there's possibly more of them about. on the cliff face or other ones that are about in the area. You definitely know you're missing, from everything that's said, you're missing at least one more fighter that's somewhere in the area that you're not exactly sure where they're at right now.
Good to know. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What's Rin gonna do?
She's gonna jump.
All right.
We're at long distance right now?
Correct.
From the big one? Okay, she's just gonna... are there any trees that... No. She's just gonna jump into the air, maybe just to keep 30 yards from her in the ground. And... I'll wait till someone else tries to hit him before hitting him.
Sure.
But I'm aiming my spitter at the large one.
Fair enough. And now I will turn over the spotlight to our two charging heroines. Or I guess charging protagonists, because we have declared you're not heroes yet.
I mean, we're the heroes of our own story.
That's like the same thing Dr. Doom says about ruling Latveria. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah,
So,
I think that they're running side by side out there. That's what I'm seeing.
sweet.
Yes.
Is there a war cry or anything else, or is it just we're running right at the big one?
I don't think Shri would have a war cry, but I do think when they get into medium range, she would summon her Chaos Servitor in the middle of as many of them as possible to try and give them a distraction and also a way for her to be able to get closer to the big one, because she knows she has to be close to the big one to stop it from hurting everybody.
Alrighty.
And the big one's scary, so.
Yes, it is. Alright. So, you guys head down the hill. This starts happening. It starts going off. Quickly, when they see two people charging at them, a lot of the excavating smaller noodles, don't stand and fight. They book it toward the cave. They're like, this is not our job. They're here to excavate and do their thing. So they slither back towards the cave area as the large one moves from standing next to the cave door to basically positioning themselves directly in front of it. So they are blocking entrance to the cave at this point in time with their very large size 3 mass. And you can easily summon your Chaos Servitor before it gets there, and it will be able to engage the very large one in combat beforehand.
So I don't want it to, if the large one's the only one, then I'll engage him in combat with the Chaos Servitor. If there's any of like the smaller ones around, it's going to just try and pull everything as far away from the big one as possible.
The small ones book it and take all their move to get inside the cave area. They are not looking to stand out there and fight. They're not looking to be warriors. That clearly doesn't seem to be their job, and they clearly do not want to engage these people unless something else happens.
Okay, perfect.
For our observing bug mama, you will quickly realize as the big one moves into position, from probably about 30 or 40 yards to your right, not exactly behind where your friends are charging down, but very clearly more towards their rear flank, another Naga warrior rises up over the ridge line and starts coming down the hill. It very clearly positioned itself so it was patrolling an area that could come and move in a pincer, especially given the fact that they'd already been scouted once.
Well, I want to out-pincer his pincer.
Sure. So you're out-pincering her pincer. All right.
That.
So we're kind of at the point where everything has devolved into actually us needing to do some initiative stuff. And for those of us that did not join us last time, there is no rolling for initiative in this system. There is declarations of fast actions and slow actions. And basically the players declare where they're going fast or slow, then the bad guys declare where they're going fast or slow, and then you kind of resolve it in that way. So, who would like to take a fast action?
My Chaos Servitor is going to take a fast action unless me casting the spell is this turn.
You could have done that while you're running down the hill, and the other Naga were retreating in the cave. I'm totally fine with
Yes.
that.
So since my Chaos Servitor is already engaged, he'll take a fast action.
Sweet. Do you wish to? Did you take Discord or damage for that?
I took Discord. Oh, let me roll real quick. Rolled over it. I am good still.
Yeah, that's the thing we need to notice. So the Chaos Servitor and the very large Naga are about to do battle. Not a problem. Alrighty. And who else wants to take a fast action? Anybody, or is everybody else taking slow actions to move and position and do all the things they need to do?
Yeah, I will be taking a slow action.
Okay.
Yeah, also a slow action.
Alrighty. Everybody else is taking a slow action. So Chaos Servitor resolves first, and then the large Naga resolves, and then the players resolve, and then our second Naga resolves. So go ahead and roll your beautiful beam footage on your Chaos Servitor.
All right, Chaos Servitor is going to just try and rend him. So big slicey talons come out of this like weird glowing object. And it is, I roll with 2 boons for the Chaos Servitor. Does a 16 hit this Naga?
The 16 will hit this Naga.
All right, and it does a whole whopping 10 damage.
Oh no, it still would apply. Okay. All right, so 10. Alrighty.
Yes.
Sounds good. You realize as the Chaos Servitor's claws rend into this Naga, that where you've seen the Chaos Servitor normally hit things like this and do lots of damage and the claws tend to rend and tear more, you realize it kind of evaporates-ish as it connects with it, like the essence that you've flown through yourself to attack this thing doesn't seem to be nearly as effective as what you're used to. The Naga turns its attention to your Chaos Servitor.
All things that attack the Chaos Servitor get a -1 Bane.
Sure. Then
so they take a Bane for it.
Sure. Then it only rolls with 1 boon then. Does 29 hit your Chaos Servitor?
Oh, wow.
I rolled a 19 and a 5. I'll be brutally honest. It doesn't have that high of a baseline.
I'm like, does a 29 hit my Chaos Servitor? Yeah, a 29 is gonna hit my poor little baby.
Okay.
Does a 29 hit?
It'll take 4 off the first attack. And 25 on the second attack, which will probably hit. And it'll take 7 off the second attack. As it stabs it twice with its spear.
4 and 7?
11 total damage. Yes, 11 total
Perfect,
damage.
thank you.
Not a problem.
Does your
Chaos Servitor's looking a little rough, but he's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a name?
No.
Is it Charlie 2, Electric Boogaloo?
No.
Big Charles.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No.
All right. So the rest of this is all player. So you guys have a lot of slow actions to take now. What would you all like to do? I'm just going to start with Jess and go around unless people have a preferred order.
Shri would like to go last.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So Silphi is, like I said, trying to get onto that person that was trying to be sneaky, who she was specifically trying to keep an eye out for, to warn her friends of this advancing, like, additional unit. It's not necessarily absolute unit, because that's the one up front, but, you know. And I think, I'm trying to see, I have, once per turn you designate a creature. I'm going to designate this the creature that I'm going to attack, and then I'm going to send my cloud of insects at it.
Okay. What are you doing for, like, so the cloud of insects isn't actually attack, it's a debuff, so it doesn't deal any damage unless you're using actual insect cloud
That is
attack
my
from
action,
the...
though, I think, is the thing.
You
So
can
it's, go ahead.
Weirdly enough, you can use both. You can use the insect cloud as an action or a triggered action, and you can use the thing that when you designate as a triggered action to get the boon or bane.
Oh, shoot!
Yeah, you have a lot of flexibility on that character.
Yeah, okay, didn't realize that. So, I'll send the cloud of insects and then, wait, so can I, if I send the cloud of insects at it, can I then use Stinging Swarm? Because it says those both say action or triggered action on your turn.
Correct.
Ah! Oh, okay, so I'll send the cloud of insects at it, at her, I think you said,
Yes, they're all female.
to bug her, basically, and then also sting her to be additionally annoying, as you do. So she has I get an extra boon to attack her because of the bugs, and then how much damage does the sting do is what I'm trying to see.
So I think the Stinging Swarm power is the debuff power, unless I'm
the Stinging Swarm is the debuff. I apologize. I'm saying it wrong then.
Well
then I'll attack.
Yeah, you like use some range
I'll attack me personally. I mean, all I have is I too also have a lashing plant whip. Does that reach far? It says a +2 reach. Is that significant enough?
If you use your move to move into range, you'll collide and then be able to use it with your reach. You can definitely do that. That is totally a thing you can do.
Since I did use a slow turn, because I knew I would have to move, I will get close enough. Like, far enough that there's a little bit of space between us. I am going to use the full +2 of that +2 range, because I don't want to be too close, but then I am going to just attack with that. So...
And you can use your intellect modifier if you're using the lashing effect on it, because that is your living weapon. So you can roll intellect.
Hell yeah! Okay, so that's a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
Yeah. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And then sorry, it says 9 charges. Oh, 1d6. There we go. 3.
Okie dokie. All right. Darby. Rin and her cannon of power, I assume, is about to come into play.
Yeah. Is Skydancing... Does Skydancing take up... My Doge. She protects.
Your Doge, yeah.
And she also loud as heck. Does Skydancing take an action, or is that...
Yes, if you want to activate Skydancing, it does take an action.
Rip. I guess I activate Skydancing.
Totally fine.
Whoops! That's all I can do, I think.
I mean, you can use your move. You can use your move to move around a bunch after you activate Skydancing. Yeah.
I guess can I just move?
Yep.
Up and away, but not so far away.
Your weapon has long range, so you're good to start putting rounds into people next turn for sure. All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move and groove.
Sounds good. Spence or Mallory, which one would you like to go?
I'll go. Why not?
Sure.
Ame is just going to use their movement to go up to the one that Silphi's attacking, because they don't want them to be attacking something by themselves. And I am going to attack. You're welcome. Let me double check on something. That's right, because I'm using a plant thing and not my actual whip, so I can't use the lashing whip thing. Okay. Oh god. So let's go ahead and roll an attack with a boon. Natural 20.
Sweet.
Uh,
Then you didn't
yeah.
hit. Unfortunately, there's no extra cool stuff for rolling a nat 20 in this game.
Rip. So that's whatever. That was a total of I think 24.
You hit on the 24. You're good.
Woo! So I get to deal 2d6 plus 2 damage.
Nice.
That will be a total of 7 damage.
Alrighty. Sounds good. Mallory, what you got? What is our dear captain, going to do today?
I am going to try to get in a sort of flanking position if possible. I don't know if that's possible based on how this thing is positioned. Is it in front of the door, just inside the doorway?
It's eating up the doorway.
Entryway.
It's physically using its body to block the entrance to where the excavation is taking place. It's using its much larger size to its advantage. You can be next to the Chaos Beast and get in there and use that and start attacking that way, but you're not going to be able to force it out of its position.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to come and stay like you see Dayra running, and her tentacles are kind of like the tentacles of Octavia, which is her hat. For anyone new to the show, are flopping, and they're whipping, but they're kind of flopping too. And as she bounces her way up next to this thing, with her in one hand she's got her shield. In the other, she's holding her cutlass. In the shield hand, she pulls something out, takes a swig, flings it, crashes. It breaks against the wall of this excavation site. And then she runs up, gets right in position, and takes a swing on this thing with her cutlass. So get a lot of additional things here being juiced up. And so I'm going to take a swing with strength, and I get 2 boons with a strength and agility attack. So strength, I get 2 boons with that.
And 1 boon
let's
for the
see where we go.
So you also get a boon for your cutlass. So it's 1d20 and 3d6s.
Well, that was helpful. That gave me much more than I needed. So 15 on the roll with my strength is a 2, so 16? 17?
17. Yeah, that'll hit.
And then we're going to make an attack. My weapons do 1 more damage, and then it's 1d6. And 8 damage.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. So you stab into the large Naga. It turns its attention from the Chaos Beast to you, so it's now refocused on you, not going to attack again because it's already attacked this turn, but you definitely got its attention. Our other Naga is well, this is unfortunate. I do not like these people in my general vicinity and my face. And will attempt to lash out at our whip-wielding Ame, who is juxtaposed themselves in between our bug lady.
Oh wait, Shri hasn't gone yet.
Oh, sorry. Go, Gigi.
Yeah.
You are good to go.
Considering that Dayra, got into melee, I assume I can get into short range.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. Then I am going to distort time and push 4 times.
How many pushes? Alrighty. That's what I like to hear. 4
pushes.
Okay.
Yes. And oh dear God, this could go real bad. So it is a will attack roll against the target's strength. And I get a boon for being with chaos right now, and I get and an extra boon for doing distort time.
You do.
Okay,
you also take 2 banes before you roll.
Yes.
You take 2 banes for trying to affect a Naga directly with an essence power, so you're flat to just the d20 roll.
All right. Everybody cross your fingers because let's get real ridiculous real quickly. Okay. That is then 14.
That will succeed.
Oh. So the target is impaired, immobilized, fatigued, and frozen in time unconscious, which means its defense is now 5. It fails everything, everybody. Just freaking destroy it. And I'm gonna roll for my all of my goodness with my d6s. So I need to roll 4 d6s.
Let me know how many odds you get.
3 odds.
Oh. How would you like to break that up? Each one of those is,
so it's
damage or discord.
And they're both 2d6, right?
It is 2d6 damage or 1d6 discord.
Let's do 2 discord, 1 damage.
All right, so go ahead and roll the damage first. Also, did you do 2 damage or the discord for activating the power?
I was gonna take the damage for that one.
All
so
right, mark that first.
Okay, and then I just took 8 more damage. So
cool.
All right, and then my 2d6 of discord. Frick! I need to stop rolling my good dice for this. That's plus 11, so that puts me at a lot of discord.
We do. We need to check to see if you explode right now.
I don't explode.
You don't.
Do I roll for... No, I don't explode yet because I didn't take discord on that attack, so I don't need to roll on that attack. But the ability... Now I am sitting at... Let's see. Okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm still okay. I'm still okay, guys. I'm still okay. I'm gonna stay back. He's incapacitated in full, and you all can just demolish him because he can't do anything to any of you.
Yep. Yeah, so you want to describe what happens when Shri does all this for our fans at home? Because that was real crazy, and they should probably understand what just happened.
So, Shri is like running up, and at this point she started to slow a little bit because she knows Dayra wants to get in and just beat this thing, and she doesn't need to be that close. She just needs to be near enough, and she like stops standing perfectly still, and the air around her kind of wavers a little bit as this like iridescent light starts coming out around her, and the Naga starts to like move a little bit jerky. Like it's like it's almost made of clockwork, and the time is ticking down until he just completely stops. And it's just this frozen moment. And she just stands there, big wide eyes, orbs, fire orbs, just staring straight ahead. I told you guys I could stop him, so just you can kill him now.
Probably coughs up a little blood from the damage.
I mean, she's trying not to visibly do that, but yeah, she's looking pretty rough right now. Like, it was obvious when those wavering things came out, it was like taking portions of her with it. Like, it's made her pretty wavery at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's not looking too incredibly hot right now.
Nope. All right. So our last Naga, who is unhappy about what they're seeing, but will do its due diligence and duty, will pay attention to the person that has just slashed upon them with the whip. So Spencer, you are the target, but unfortunately there's these bugs around, so this particular Naga doesn't get any boons to do anything to you because your lovely person helps there. So it's just a straight roll. What is my target number for your defense, good sir? The Naga slithers up and attempts to sink its teeth into you.
Oh, good. Your target number, my friend, is currently, with my armor and the shield I have, a 13.
All right. Well, that will hit you. So I need you to make a strength challenge roll with 1 bane.
Oh, good. Love that. My strength isn't great. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, that's awful. That's going to be a 3.
Yeah, that's not going to get you there. So you will take 9 damage, and you are poisoned as the Naga bites you.
Ow. Ow, okay, that's a lot. Ow. Oh,
but it's not quite done yet, because it's like, now I have bitten you, and I will skewer you with my spear.
Okay, good. Have fun.
That is a 6, so an 11 will not hit you.
Yay!
The spear will fly by you, and you will be saved the stabbing of the spearing. All right.
Cool.
So it is that is the end of the first round of combat for all those folks that now know how the combat system works. And we are back to deciding whether we want to go fast or slow. I'm assuming there's a lot of fast actions about to happen.
Yup.
Shri's gonna be a slow, but the Chaos Beast will be a fast.
Sounds good. Who here is Shri our only slow action and everybody else is going quick, fast, and in a hurry?
Think so.
All right. My one Naga will remain very unconscious. It'll be very big and standing there. It's frozen in time. And my other one will take a quick action. So under fast action, sorry. So we have a bunch of fast, and then Shri is our only slow. Which one of my player characters would like to go first?
I was gonna ask to go ahead, Ren.
No, I was gonna, I mean, unless, if you were, is there still a boon to attack the Naga with the whip? Ren would like to, if it's okay, attack that guy or that last first.
As a side note, Jess, if you're doing any of your triggered stuff, that happens outside of initiative order, so you can do that whenever you would like. And making sure you know. So Rin is popping shots.
Yes, I would love to use my Marauder ability, Exploit Weakness. And is it when I hit, or do I have to declare Heartseeker as I'm attacking?
You have to declare Heartseeker when attacking.
Okay, I'd like to expend a charge of Heartseeker.
Sure.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
see if I can hit. Does a 13 hit?
A 13 does not hit. Your bug flies by, getting stuck in the swarm of other bugs, and passes right by our Naga.
Well, darn. Well, that's it. Oh wait, I have to wait. I add my agility to it, don't I?
You do.
Oh, then I add +5 to that, so it's an 18.
That does hit. That's much better.
That is much better. I thought it was just a flat roll, and I can't remember.
Nope. You always add the appropriate attacking stats. You just happen to have all of the agility score.
Woo! So 86 it is.
Every time she says it.
Here we go again.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Let's do some math real quick. Math break.
Math. Math. Good stuff.
Only 27 damage?
Oh, only 27.
Oh, that's so horrible for you. Hold on, let me play the world's smallest violin and you're 27 damage.
I dealt 7 last round, Darby. That's chump change compared to you dealing 27. Yeah.
Alright. It slams into the Naga in the swarm of bugs. That Naga looks unhappy but does not go down.
Good.
Okay. Okay. Unfortunate, but fine.
I'm a go next.
Sure. Go,
I'm
Holmes. You got this.
I'm just gonna attack. I mean, not much else I can really do.
Mm-hmm.
So I make it with a boon and a bane because I'm poisoned.
Yep, so it evens out. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wait, do boons and banes cancel each other out, or am I still rolling both?
You cancel out before roll.
Okay. Then it's just a straight D20 roll. Huzzah.
Correct.
Nah.
All
It doesn't even matter. Nah.
Okay.
6. Whole 6.
Not getting it with the 6, homie. All right,
Nope.
who wants to go next? I got
can
Jess
go.
or Marlo or the Chaos Beast.
I can go. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna swing on this thing again because it is,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Frozen time.
right there in front of me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Easy prey. That's not great. Oh wait, I have a bunch of
It
things to
literally,
add to it.
you
Its
only
defense
have
is
to roll
5
over a
currently.
5 to hit it.
Yeah. So
Oh.
did you roll
Okay,
a 3?
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know your
Yeah.
sprint score. Did you roll a 3?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did that. And then it is. Oh, I'm gonna break things. Sorry guys, that was a really loud noise. Yeah. 8. Not 6 damage.
6.
That wasn't very good.
Yep. All right. Oakley dokley. Next of we have Jess to round out our fasts for the player characters.
Yep. Can. Oh, yeah, it's not what I want to do, but it seems. All right, I guess I'm gonna try and whip them again. And is it possible to try and like? Oh God, I'm trying to get them to turn their attention to me so they don't hit Amaranthus again. Oh, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
I definitely did not hit. I can tell you right now.
Okay.
Yappy.
I missed. Yeah, so in my Karen concern, I'm like, hey, look at me. Oh, nope. And then, like, I completely whiff my whip. Did you know you could whiff a whip? Because apparently you can, and I did it.
I think we now need a whip whiff counter as well. Get
No.
me in on that.
Yeah.
Between
That's true. There's a
Ame
few
and
of us with
Silphi.
whips. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. I believe it is my one and only shots here.
That's Chaos Beast.
No, Chaos Beast.
Oh,
Chaos
yeah,
Beast.
that's right.
So,
Get him.
yeah, my boy still goes. And he definitely
He
hits
does.
because he just had to roll like over something very, very low. For 8 damage.
For 8. Okay.
Yep.
Again, as you hit it, you see the fact that the essence that you've channeled into this Chaos Beast does not seem to be affecting the Naga very well. The other Naga, it's covered in the swarm of bugs and unhappy about its current life condition, is like, I'm going to take a bite out of this guy who's whipped me and do something about it.
Mm-hmm. I am now scared.
It did hit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Even
What's
with the Bane?
What's the damage,
With
Paul?
Bane, it just rolls a flat d20 because it already gets a boon to hit him. Because all the Naga attacks roll with the... Yep. You are already poisoned. It continues to want to take a bite out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it will deal 10 points of damage.
I am unconscious.
Ah! Damn it.
Huzzah!
So Ame collapses, and we'll deal with that on your turn. If you want to, there is a page for player characters and unconsciousness. I can't tell you exactly what it is at this exact moment.
Yeah, I'm looking
it's in
around
the-
for it in the...
Mm-hmm. You're basically looking to not start rolling ones, because you basically get 3 turns to try to not roll a 1 and not stabilize. But yes, But yeah, it's in there. We'll get to it. It's only going to happen on your turn, which won't happen until next round.
Yeah, I'm reading that part, and now I'm scared.
Fair enough. And because the Naga's like 1 down, 1 to go, it turns its spear toward our bug lady and tries very hard to stab her with a spear.
Why you get so many attacks, Doe?
Does Naga get 2 attacks, Doe? I'm assuming a 9 does not hit you, so...
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Spear whips by you. That is how that goes. And then we have Shri taking a slow attack.
Shri's just gonna look at Dayra and be like, "Don't stand next to my monster when he blows up." And then she's going to start running towards the other group. I assume she can't get to Ame this turn.
No, but she can get to him next turn.
Okay.
As he crumples
so then,
on the ground. As they crumple on the ground, sorry.
She is going to take... We're going to take 1 damage to maintain the high.
Okay.
And that'll be her turn.
All right. My fast player characters get to go again. What would they like to do? Because I assume everybody's going quick, exception of probably Shuri, who's going to be running towards. With the Chaos Beast going quick. My one Naga is going quick. My other Naga is going to be stuck in time for the second round. Who would like to do what? As a side note, Spence, I'll have you roll at the end of the round, at the end of the turn for your dead or dying stuff.
I've got my fate die ready.
All right. Who would like to go first? Rin. Looks like Darby's got a Rin looking to go first.
Can I shoot the Naga again?
You can always shoot the Naga again, yeah.
Oops.
Same one you shot last time?
How high am I still in the air? Am I still sort of like floating down, or am I on
You're still sort of floating down using your base ability that lets you kind of float. Yep.
Okay. Let's exploit weakness again. Does it still have buggy bugs around it? Or...
It does still have buggy bugs on it.
It does.
Cool.
Can I also, am I able to use my vital advice to give
You
Rin
are.
another bonus?
Mhm.
Okay. So then
You
I,
are.
like, from where I am on the ground, I'm, like, shouting at you, like, you have a very good tactical advantage from above! Do use that!
Will do! I'll use Heartseeker again. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? So I roll with a boon?
Yeah, you have 2 boons now to choose from, whichever one's better, and then if you hit, you get an extra 1d6 of damage for your attack.
So, yep, 1d20 and 1 boon because you have a Bane to exploit weakness. Yep. She keeps taking a Bane, so she deals an extra d6 of damage on her stuff.
Ah.
Use
An extra
damage stacking.
56 of damage.
Ah, there you go then. You should have rolled 9d6 then and not 8 from the last turn. Just letting you know. It's a total of 9.
I
It's 2 for the
should've
weapon, 2 for... Yep. When you're using Heartseeker, it's 2 for exploit weakness, 2 for the weapon itself, and 5 for Heartseeker. So it's 9d6 when you hit. Yep. Heartseeker is 5d6.
I thought it was 3. Did I write that down wrong?
No, it's 5.
Yeah, it is 5d6 extra damage.
Oh, okay. Oh boy. Yeah.
How many uses do you have of that? Oh my gosh.
She took 2 charges.
Oh, I super did not read that right. Okie dokie.
All right, be ready to clip my reaction at all of her stuff, everybody, because good lord, this is about to get real.
Other thing, I rolled a 20, which was the other thing I was going to say before I got really distracted, and I just rolled a flat 20, so that's 25. Not including the boon. Okie dokie.
It is mechanically impossible for you not to kill it, so please just describe what happens.
I see that Amaranthus has gone down. I'm just gonna go. Shit. Well, you do what you do best, Look. And if looks could kill, that would be excellent. And I am going to aim at the heart using the advice that Silphi gave me, and just let her rip.
All right. Again, your Heartseeker enters the center of the chest and, removes the entire back of the Naga, as there's just nothing left of it at this point in time, because it only had 8 hit points. And you're going to do more than 8 damage with 9d6. It's mechanically impossible to do less than that.
Gotcha.
So you ventilate the back of this thing, and it collapses to the ground, very dead, laying next to your compatriot Emma as the bugs buzz around it. Ame and the Naga lay side by side, one of them no longer clinging to life, one of them barely clinging to life. And we are at whatever other players would like to do to the frozen in time Naga.
I'm gonna swing at him again. Hopefully I can roll better this time, though.
All right.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You only got to hit a 5.
Yeah. Okay, well, I definitely got a 5, so I rolled an 18. So add what you will to that. We hit. And then, let's see what we can do here. Oh, I need my boon. Okay, 12.
Cool. You are hacking away. So I assume Suri's gonna try to medically stabilize Ami on your turn.
Yeah. My servitor does 12 damage, by the way.
Sure.
My little boy does 12. He's a sweet boy. I love him. Yeah, so Shri's going to run up to Ame and immediately yank like this pack of and like rip it open, and there's these poultices all over the ground and all sorts of strange like objects, and she's got medicine profession and she has healer's kits. So she's going to use her healer's kit, which I know if he's unconscious, it's with 1 bane. Does medicine cancel out that bane?
Yes, having the medicine profession will allow you to cancel out that bane. So
perfect. And then I have an additional boon for still being on my high right now for all challenge rolls.
Sure. So you'd like to use that to help heal him. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, for all my, just because I'm still in my high. After this, it's going to get real rough for Shri. But, oh yeah, that's a 19.
You're good. So as Ame wakes up, he sees Shuri's bright eyes looking down at him, shoving things onto their chest, reviving them to the state of consciousness as air flows back into their lungs. And I'm happy to go into narration because I have a time-stopped enemy that I can't do anything with. Who would like to kill our time enemy?
I have a quick question. How much does that heal me?
1.
We'll say half your healing rate.
Ooh.
Okay. So I am at 14 damage instead of 16. Fantastic.
Yep.
As soon as they wake up and see Shri, in an odd moment that you haven't really seen from them, Shri, from under this Naga, I guess they're partially under, just grabs Shri and pulls them into a hug.
Aww.
I think at this point, because since Shri didn't use any chaos powers, she's just instantly crashing. and it's hitting. She's like trying to wiggle away and is very uncomfortable and just like push it, like trying to push at you, but not like push anywhere she knows you're hurt. But like she wants to get out of this hug, like very badly.
Yep. After like a split second, just lets go.
So
Marlo, do you want to completely destroy our monster friend? Because it's going to be way cooler if you do it than if my little chaos beast does.
Sure. So, what?
Oh, I have a question. I'm fine to drop in the narration, but I have a very important question for Marlo. After you're done with this Naga, do you stop, or do you start slaughtering all the workers in the catacombs behind? For everything is prey currently to you. Do you indulge in your particular fatal flaw and start killing worker bees and slaughtering them all?
I am glad you suggested it, because my next option was the Chaos Beast, and I did not want Shri to hate me.
Shri wouldn't hate you, but you would hate her, because when you kill it, it explodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that this Cutlass, she's got her shield at an arm, which is useless because it's not going to hit her. But she could bash it. But yeah, actually, she bashes it with her shield. You see her hit it, knock it to the not to the ground, knock it, and it kind of leans back a little bit because it's kind of frozen in time, so it's kind of a slow lean. And as she comes down, she like slices its head right off. And then she kicks it out of the way. Yeah, she's gonna kick it out of the way because it's still in this time thing, right? So she's like, get the hell out of the way, kicks it, and then goes running inside like, yeah, I'm gonna get him. And like starts swinging on these other ones that didn't want to fight.
Yep. I'm fine to narrate the fact that you slaughter most of them unless anybody comes in there and tries to stop you. They do like maybe between them like 4 or 5 points of damage, which isn't going to slow you down in any fashion or way, shape, or form as you carve your way through a handful of these Naga until you come down off your juiced high, realizing you pretty much killed a bunch of workers that were defenseless or mostly defenseless and couldn't help themselves. To satiate your
Is it possible
rage.
to like somewhat come in the way of this, just to like slow it down a little bit? Like,
I mean, you can technically try. I mean, tactically, you could advise the Naga to not get hit by her based upon how your powers work and start imparting banes on her, but that doesn't really seem to slow her down that much. She is apparently very juiced up and very good at killing things. We will note that your scout companion is very happy to see her slaughter all these Naga and is cheering her on because, you know, they killed his friends, so they all deserve to die. And
yeah, so if it's impossible to get through to her, then helping a few of them to like find a way out and around, at least.
You can try. She is very consumed with her bloodlust at this point in time. You do get the extra seeker point, by the way, for, you know, totally fulfilling your fatal flaw, both of you.
Okay. Awesome.
And yeah, you can. I'll say you can tactically try to save one. They're going to try to slither off in the forest and get away as fast as possible. They're not going to here to hang out and talk with the murder of their guardians and the compatriots there. But yeah, you can save 2 Naga workers from her murderous rampage.
Yeah, I think this is like Dayra's never been the most like friendly person, but she's never. I think this is a shock to everyone because obviously she's out of control, out of her mind, and she has just done something that you never would have expected of her. And I think as she starts to ease off of the rage, so-called, she kind of stops and looks at everything around her and just freezes. Like, What the hell did I just do?
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Like, Silphi is staying around you, but not getting close enough to be within swinging range. Because I think it's pretty apparent that you're not in full control of yourself. If that makes sense. And, just kind of is loudly taking deep breaths, almost in like, I'm not going to tell you what to do here, but I'm going to just start doing this very loudly and hope that you also start kind of like breathing like this. And then like if you also start to calm down, she's going to be like, was that something you wanted to do?
No. No, it wasn't. And you see like her like arms just kind of drop, and like the shield kind of just slides off of her arm, and from her like hand, her cutlass falls to the ground. And she just like her shoulders slump, and she just looks tired and like wide-eyed, like, I'm not sure what to do now.
Would it be all right if I made you some tea?
Yeah. Tea would be great.
And I'm just gonna like get a little closer to you now, but still not touching you, and start preparing like just a little bit of something for you without like saying too much.
I think so. Part of this is, since I didn't take another dose, which would probably have been a bad thing, I'm now fatigued for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make a strength roll too. Oh. I rolled a 3 on my strength, so I think I failed, so I think I gain a strain at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
I think while this is happening, once Shri wiggles away from Ame, she's going to just look at them and be like, can I blind you for a minute? And you know, because you've traveled with her for so long, that she's going to try and call on the light to heal you. But it can backfire. It could hurt you. So that's why she's asking you what she can, if she can do it. Because I figure, honestly, 100% guarantee at some point she just did it without asking, and probably hurt you pretty freaking badly.
What's my current damage? It's 14. I'm rough. Like, they're rough.
Keep in mind, you can use.
Here's what I'm gonna.
Here's
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my. I'm gonna use my strength and essence to heal 4, so I'm at 10 damage. And sits there for a second and thinks it over, and you watch as some of the, almost like this like moss grows over some of their wounds and then just falls away, and it kind of looks like as if maybe days or even weeks of healing have passed. And sort of just gently grabs one of your hands with both of theirs. If you can, try to be more careful. I know it's not you.
But I
to be careful.
We stopped the guy and we killed the stuff.
Can I tell, like, I mean, I've traveled with Shri for a long time. I can tell there's a lot, there's probably some sort of, like, physical manifestation of all the discord, right? Or, I'm not sure how that works with her.
With Shri right now, let me pull up exactly where I am with discord and the effects that you're seeing. You just basically see the air around her looks unstable. She is at very high levels of discord right now. But her calling the light does not increase her discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Sure. Ame will just sort of, after thinking it over more, just sort of nods.
Shri, like, closes her eyes. Her eyelids go over those flaming orbs that sit where her eyes should be. Does Ame fight this, or does Ame accept it? Because it is a challenge roll, but you can choose not to take it and just to accept it happening.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. They're just accepting it. So
okay, I'm gonna roll my d6 and see if I heal you or hurt you.
Yep.
What do you think I'm doing?
I trust you to heal me. I hope.
You heal for 8. The light, she opens her eyes again, and light comes pouring from her eyes and just like shooting at you. And as that happens, your body just starts, like, all the plants look like they're coming back to life and reforming, and everything's weaving together the way it's supposed to be.
She rolled good is what happened.
Side note, for the players at home, that was my cleansing light ability. I roll a d6 after making either a will attack or the player accepting it. And if I roll an odd number, I do, it is not 8. I did that wrong. It is 2 times your healing rate. Sorry. So whatever your healing rate is times 2.
So it is
sorry,
8,
I read that wrong.
Yeah, because my healing rate is 4.
Perfect.
So
that works. So when I roll an even number, the target heals 2 times their healing rate, but they are blinded for a minute. When I roll an odd number, they take 2d6 plus 2 damage, and if they're incapacitated, they get dead and vaporized.
Oh, good.
They fully are gone forever.
And you said they're blinded for a minute?
Just for a minute. That's why she asked if she could blind you. And I guarantee she's obviously never killed you with this or knocked you unconscious, but you know it can hurt you because she's hurt you before.
Yeah. And I assume they're sort of kneeling on the ground, but will sort of very carefully sort of feel so they can at least like grab your shoulder and sort of just pulls themselves up and just sort of sits there, I guess stands there for the minute that they're blind. And then as it sort of clears up, don't like the blind thing. Good thing it doesn't last very long.
So everybody but Ame can see that when she reached in and used the light to heal him, the same flashing effect that synchronized from inside the mound happens when she activates that particular power. So there's a flash of light from inside the mound, which, Shuri can't see because her back is to it, and Ame is blind, but the 3 of you all notice.
The mound where they were digging?
Yep.
Could Rin just pat Dayra on the shoulder a little bit? Just squeeze. It's not quite over yet, but just a little longer, I think, before we can rest.
Thanks.
Let's take a look at what they were digging up, shall we? shouting back to Shri and Amaranthus. The light's coming from inside the mound where they were digging.
I think at that, Shri just takes off towards the mound. Like, Ame's okay. She knows this now. She's not concerned anymore. Time to go.
Out the gate.
And leading concern gone. All right. So you guys head into the mound. You see that they have started to uncover what appears to be some sort of machinery. And machinery as you would know it as people, like as players, not necessarily as characters. As characters, there are these weird contraptions that seem to be made out of rock and other things, and there are pieces missing. It's really off. They're not really sure where you're going with it. As you kind of head into it, you see what appears to be what Shuri very clearly sees as a chaos shard, but as other people aren't super familiar with, it looks like a blue, like, diamond, about that big-ish, shaped and cut with, splices of energy, and it seems to be encased inside one of these machines. There seem to be controls around the machine. They are assorted in very awkward ways that nobody really seems to know how to operate. It doesn't seem even the Naga were really sure how to operate. It seems that they were just kind of pulling things out of it. They were just kind of, moving everything around it, getting a machine. Looks like they were possibly looking to move it and or dig around it. As Shuri approaches the controls, she kind of gets a vision, and the vision consists of basically a road. Down one path, there is a flash of light. You see the ferry boat you guys are traveling on. There's glass on the sandy shore that you guys arrived on, and the town that you guys were in is completely empty. On the other road, there is the town prospering and like people going about doing things, being normal about it, and things seem to be operating normally. And that's kind of what Shuri sees in that moment.
Does Shri get the so since she's seeing the same town, I assume she's just like, okay, this is two different ways it could be. Does she get any sense of what town it is, or any sort of like
it's the town that you guys were asked to, you were in earlier today, that you were asked to
okay, cool. Shri says fucking nothing.
Okay.
Does anyone know what this is?
It's got a chaos shard in it.
Why though?
I think it's powering it.
What does it do?
And that's I don't know what it does. If we try to turn it on, can we turn it on? We should turn it on. And she just starts like looking for a way to actually turn on this device.
Well, if we don't know what it does, it could be like it could be anything from let's make pretty fireworks to explode and kill everything in the proximity, so it's not quite turn it on.
So
yeah, she's definitely that inspires her to continue looking for a way to turn it on. Yes, Shri absolutely starts pushing buttons.
As Shuri starts pushing buttons, she realizes that when she hits a button, she gets a flash of one path or the other. So as she starts pushing buttons, she realizes she can basically choose to target the light upon this town or shut this device down.
Do we see anything visually happening with Shri? Eyes?
I mean, her body language is probably very, excited.
I don't know if we should touch this. thing.
Shri's going to push the button that brings the light onto the town.
Okay. So Shri will start pushing buttons. They seem to be working in some sort of sequence. You'll hear lots of whirring and loud noises. And then in a very large flash of light, the Chaos Shard is there, and then it is gone. A few moments later, you'll hear Sterling call from outside.
Like what kind of call?
I'm running.
Like,
Yeah.
I just push the buttons.
Mm-hmm. Like panicky, like oh my god type call. And as those people that respond to this call, you guys who have all been fairly close to light-based incidents before, because you guys tracked down and hunted glass, will see light falling from the heavens in the direction of the town you guys were just in.
Dayra turns and looks at Shri and goes, "What did you do?"
Shri just sits there and smiles.
Rin's gonna run towards the town. That doesn't look good. And there were people there.
The Lightwoods are the ones that should be spared.
Rin's just jumping. She's just jumping. Doesn't matter. She's just fucking booking it.
Paul, I have to ask an important question here because it relates to Ame's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Does this look similar to the event that burned down their hometown?
No.
Okay.
So this is very similar to, like, you guys used to hunt glass, so you know how the light works. When it hits an area, it cleanses basically all humanoid life from the area, but like trees, plants, the buildings, the boats at the dock, all of that except for the sandy beachfront area is going to be left utterly untouched. That's how the light cleanses an area. It's very awkward. So you'll end up with like basically ghost towns for people who set up too close to where the light was hitting. And that's why people don't, you know, manifest stuff on the plains and the mainland where the light hits, because basically you could move into there, but everything that was in the town, it would be just fine. It's just the people are gone. They're mostly eradicated. They just basically disappear. You know how she discussed her light power where she calls it down and disintegrates? It basically does that to the town in its entirety in that particular situation. But Rin, I assume Rin just books it back to the town, like
she's
skydancing.
Yeah.
Right, activates skydancing, does her thing. She will get to town faster than everybody else. There's just no one there. The buildings are all intact. The like bakery is still there. The everything that's set up is just clean and proper and everything. When Rin gets to the beach, there are several easy pockets of glass to mine. And there are lots of things that you can easily do because it's a sandy beach area, so that was all turned to glass of possibly several sorts. There seems to be some areas of clear glass you could mine. There are some areas of red glass that you could mine if you wanted to. There's, you know, things like that. I mean, if you explored enough, you could probably find a cache of yellow glass. Just very much hit the beach area and turned that into glass. But the rest of the town just looks like nobody was, like, people were living there and now they're gone.
Is there any, Rin's just gonna call out, is anyone here?
Silence.
I think Shri's gonna look at Dayra and just like smiling. I got you glass. There's so much.
Not like this, Shri.
This is the only way you get glass. It's always been like this. You just didn't see it before.
No.
This is how you make glass. The light comes.
Yeah, but
It looks
did
like
it have to go
home
there?
now.
No, Shri. What's happening to us?
Shri's brows kind of furrow. She's very confused by that concept. Like this like there's some big change to her. It just seems like, oh, I just made you glass now. I did the thing.
So here's the thing. There's like probably plenty of plant matter around that town, right?
It's fine.
All the plant matter is
it's
fine.
fine.
That doesn't get touched at all by the light.
That's
Oh,
right.
The
That's
only
right.
thing that dies are humanoids, and they just they're gone. Or if there's anything left, they're burnt corpses. But that's not even that common.
Yeah,
Did
that's
we
super
see
rare.
any children in the village?
Oh, there were
were
kids in town. I wasn't
Oh,
gonna.
Jesus.
It's a town. It was a bustling small town on the riverfront. If you know, you can find the map you needed. That's in the elder's hut, untouched.
I mean, I guess Rin would have gone in just to see if anyone was there. I don't think she would have taken anything. I think she's just horrified right now.
I think Ame's gonna grab the
There's
map.
bread in the baker's ovens because they were baking you guys extra bread.
I guess I'll turn off the oven. Or put it out or something. I don't know. I'm just panicking. I'm just trying to stop the whole remnants of these people's lives from being destroyed. There has to be something.
Ame's gonna grab the map.
Sure.
I guess in front of Shri and Dayra. I guess more to make a point towards Shri. Tears the map to shreds. We have no right to this. None.
How do you think glass is made? What do you think we've been making money off of this whole time? You've been making money off the light taking everyone that isn't worthy.
And you think that gives you the right to take the lives of people we were supposed to help?
The light cleansed them.
But we
I need a
never
fucking
directed
drink.
the light.
You have.
She walks to the tavern or wherever to find alcohol now.
No right to decide how these people die. None.
If the light didn't want to go there, it wouldn't have gone. I could guide it, I don't control it. The light is the light. It controls itself and everything else. I think all of you were fine with glass until you saw how it was really made. And I think that's your problem. And she's going to turn around and start going to get glass.
Storyteller?
Does
Glass require human vaporization to form? Or is it just like if they happen to
and light.
Okay,
it requires
if
the
they happen
light.
to be there. Yeah, okay, if they happen to be in the way, they get vaporized, not like, oh,
Right.
glass needs to be formed by a human being vaporized on the beach.
Correct.
Gotcha. Do people know that? Or is that like a not known factoid?
It is known to you as people. It is known that glass requires the light. It is known that glass only requires the light when it hits sand because you guys have been harvesting it and in that trade. But it is not common knowledge how glass is made. A lot of the times there is human casualty because there has to be somebody spotting for the light, or people set up, villages and all the light, suddenly the light comes down in that area. But it technically does not require any sort of human sacrifice to make glass. But we are closing in on 10 o'clock. So you guys have anything you would like to do before I call game?
Ame is putting every effort possible to see that Shri doesn't mind that glass.
Sure.
Rin is gonna go into every place to find something of someone who lived there and go find some rocks and bury these things. With
Cool.
a rock at the head.
Sure.
Yeah, Silphi would help with that. I was gonna say the same sort of thing as like what Rin said, is that Silphi would like look to do some small ritual of rest that she usually kind of does for fallen things.
So
What's
you will get to
Sterling doing?
Oh, that's the question. Who was keeping track of him?
Oh,
I guess
I don't think
not Rin. She ran all the way here.
Yep. So I was going to get to that. So when you get to a house, it looks like there was a small family that lived there. You will notice that somebody has already come through here and taken some things and is gone.
Say nothing. Just keep on just finding something. Just, I guess I'll look to Silphi. Finding a rock.
Mm-hmm. But nobody tracked Sterling, and nobody kept track of him. So he is a scout. He does know how to be stealthy and hide.
Mm-hmm.
Dayra finds a bottle of liquor and lights a cigarette, walks down to the beach, and starts mining the glass while smoking and drinking.
Cool. All right. Well, I think at that, we're ready to do some outros unless anybody has anything else.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So, Jess, you good to start our outros, or would you like me to start?
I can start. All right, that was an adventure. Hi everyone, I'm Jess. Thanks for hanging out with us today. You can find me personally, pretty much most of the places online at go_JG, unless they wouldn't let me have that handle, and then I might be Jess Go or Go Jess, because that's my name. Come hang out with me on Twitch, where I do lots of different variety stuff. I've got a bunch of TTRPG fundraising stuff happening for Pride, Tabletop Games Day, focus on the emphasis on the gay, and fun stuff like that. We're fundraising for Rainbow Railroad, who help people get out of difficult situations, and lots of other stuff like that. So check me out. Twitch and Twitter is where I'm most active, and thanks for hanging out.
All right.
Me next, I
Darby.
suppose. Yeah. Hello. I am Darby. You can find me on Twitter as @DarbyPack. That's my real human name, but really I just say possum in a skin suit. When I'm not here on Weave the Tale, you can find me Mondays and Fridays on the Critical Misses Twitch channel. Mondays for Kingsguard, a Roll20 spotlight show of D&D 5th edition, where I play a character who is definitely not similar to Rin in any way whatsoever. And for Fridays, where we play when we do System Crash, where we play Who Knows Who and Who Knows What. It's a variety show. We try out new systems every episode and just go with the flow. I'm on the Critical Misses channel. You can find me on Chaotic Pod, the Twitch channel. We play with my co-host Harper. We stream on a variety of different days. Wednesdays, I stream doing a variety of different video games at 6 p.m. PST. Harper does her Harper's Homeroom on Sundays, and we air Hidden Magics, our game of D&D 5th edition. I think today, maybe a little bit earlier, but yeah, Chaotic Pod is a, I guess, subsidiary of Chaotic Creations, a podcast where we take weird prompts to make weird TTRPG characters. We are making our comeback this week after a hiatus, so if you want to hear more of my voice, you can listen to Chaotic Creations anywhere you can listen to podcasts. Spotify, can I say it right? Spotify, Apple Podcasts, what have you. And I guess this week I'm the community lead for the Fey Realms. And this weekend we are doing our charity stream for the National Queer and Trans Therapists of Color Network. So we are streaming, I think it's like a full 12 hours, doing a variety of different things. We have a necrobiotic one shot. We have people playing a variety of different video games with, cash incentives. So donate to a great cause and come watch us do funny shenaniganeries. So I think that's it for me. I know that was really long, so I will pass it along.
Hey, I am OMGG. That is OHEMGIGI. Only that O is 0. You don't really find me anywhere except here, so shoot me a message on Twitter or find me in one of the 8 million Discords I'm in. I would love to also emotionally devastate all of your players, so please utilize me in such a way.
Hi everyone, I am Marlo. You can find me on Twitter at MarloBogwitch with 2 G's, as it says below. Right now, I've got a couple things going on. Obviously, I'm here, but I'm also on Featherfall Tabletop Gaming every other Saturday. We're playing 5e. I'm playing a bard who is she's kind of dreary. She doesn't just murder people, but she's dreary. And less bloodlust. So that's good. And then I'm also on a podcast called Sins of the Father. I am the editor, and I play another bard there. That was not intentional. It's just 2 games that have been going on for a very long time, and it just happened to line up that way. So that play Yavalia on there. She's a young, scrappy teenage girl. They're all kids. Every fight feels like it might be their last. It is intense. If you are so interested, we do have an opening coming up for that show. So if you want to check that out, I've retweeted it. You can find me on Twitter. You can find Sins of the Father through there. Please apply. We are looking for new cast members, and we would love to have you on our podcast. So consider applying if you would like. Other than that, that's all I'm doing when I don't have bloodlust.
Spencer, who's next?
Yeah, I'm.
Follow that.
I don't think I can. That's gonna be a fun session to try and sleep after. But yeah, I am at SpencerDV on the Twitterverse and stuff. This is all I've really got going on right now when it comes to streaming. So come back next week as we figure out what these people are doing after this shit show. Yay. Yay.
And I'm Paul. I've been your keeper. You can find me on Twitter at PaulMarchant6. This is all I'm really doing. So if you want me to run something for a group for you, or I would love to play something, that would be wonderful. Just hit me up there. And that's been us. I hope everybody had a good time.